Hi everybody, Larry Graves here. This is part 2 of me showing you some of my old photographs. As I said, I love looking at old photographs, not necessarily just photographs of me and my family, but anybody that I know, if they have old photographs, it's like, let me see them. I love photos from, just any era, I guess, but, 60s, 70s, but even really, really old photographs I love looking at. And in with all of these old photos, I found some of my old newsletters, because people have asked me, how did you get started on doing videos? Because I've had a channel on YouTube, my Canadian Studmuffin channel, for over 10 years now. And so in my next video, I'm going to show you these newsletters that I used to create long before the internet came around. And they were called Grave Times. And maybe I'll read some of the stories I'd written. There's one long, fairly long one. It's called The Light at the End of the Tunnel. So stay tuned for that one. But for this one, I just want to show you more of the photos. This is the early 80s, me and Nancy, my brother Bob, my older brother Bob, took some really nice pictures, and this is one of them, black and white. And I used to disc jockey. There's a story about my disc jockey. I think it's on this channel actually, but there might be one on my other channel too. I used to disc jockey starting in the 80s, and then, well, actually the late 70s into the 80s and the 90s, off and on. And I did quite a few dances, and I had 2 different disc jockey partners, and this was the first one. This is back in, I think it was about 1979. You can see we're still using vinyl records. You can see Let It Be. They were called Midnight Madness Machine. And actually, honestly, I would say 95% of the dances I did were successful, because me and my partner, we would mix up the music. We'd play some country, we'd play some rock, we'd play slow stuff. But I was so shy back then, I hardly spoke a word, except when the song Strokin'. When that song, when we were going to be playing that song, I would grab the mic and I would say, "And now it's time to do some strokin'." That was it for me. Then I'd hand the mic back to my partner. So yeah, good times. My dog Elmo, again, and as you can see, he sort of loved me. These are all just all over the place. This is Nancy when we were married, and her 2, what do you call those? Grooms? Not the grooms. The brides, the maidens of honor, I guess, yeah. This is Nancy and me in about 1995 in our kitchen. Once again, and I had issues with my weight back in the day, so I was a little heavier then, and this is with Elmo. He was such a sweet dog. I really do miss him. And this really shows I'm a little heavier there. And I'm a little thinner here. I think that's about 1980, 1979. This is my stereo system back in 1979, and I'm playing a Sparks vinyl record, which it looks like it's on yellow vinyl. And it was a very good system. It was a Technics, I believe it was a Technics turntable. I have a tape deck and an amplifier. It was a decent system for the day. In my previous video I mentioned, my very last video, I mentioned the Northern Pikes and the weird coincidence story. This is Nancy with Brian Potvin of the Northern Pikes back in the year 2000 when he was releasing his solo album, and as you can see, she's pretty happy. This is me as a security guard at Belleville General Hospital. I was a guard there for a couple of years, and as you can see, I was an excellent security guard. This is, I think I only have 2 pictures of my very first dog, Elmo, and I loved him so much. And sadly, we had we moved, and at the time, I think it was wrong, but I had to give up the dog. But I had him for, I think, 4 years, 5 years. That's when he was a little puppy. And I mentioned Tiger in the first showing the photographs. This is when she was full size. It's not a very clear picture, but you can see how beautiful the cat was. And this is about 1982, and I was much more of a serious person back then. And I think everybody goes through a awkward stage, and I certainly went through mine in the about 77 or so, and kind of a nerdy kind of year or two. And this is Brian Potvin with me at the same time in the year 2000. Great guy. And we're Facebook friends, and I just saw him in concert there last year. We're still in contact. This was the very first picture of Nancy I ever saw. I have different ones. This one's a little beat up, sadly. That's not bad, it's just the tape. And we were pen pals at first. She lived in Toronto. And this is the first picture I ever saw of her. I might have shown this one in the last video, I'm not sure. There might be a few I'm repeating here. This is me at a NetWits convention in Texas. Where was it in Texas? Dallas, Texas, or I'm not sure. But I've had a few drinks and I pulled down my pants. Needless to say, I was the hit of the convention. Seriously. This is a really old photo of me and I'm not in the picture. This is a really old picture of my dad, my mom, and my oldest sister, my other sister Janet, and Bob when he was a baby. I didn't exist then. My dad, 1944. I don't know where I got my great looks from. Just joking. Look at him. Look at him. Isn't that a handsome young man? Looks like a Hollywood movie star. This is me as a baby. This is me with my mum and my nephew John, probably about 1967. I really don't have too many pictures of my mom. A really nice picture of Elmo. What a beautiful dog. My sister Sharon, who I'm very close to, and you can see my dad and Nancy in the background. And this was the late 80s, I guess. Picture of my mum. And she passed away when I was 18. She was 54. And any of my good qualities are because of my parents, my mom and dad. They were just awesome parents. There's me with my dad. This is me. It says August of 64, but this is Christmas time, so it must have been 63, Christmas. No, I can't even be 5 years old there. I look like I'm about 3. That's me. Another nerdy picture of me holding a Sparks album, Kimono My House, which I'm going to be ranking on the Canadian Studmuffin channel very soon. Christmas time again. I believe that was a drum. I kind of remember that. Not that I became a drummer with my sister and my brothers. Picture of me, 1982, I believe. Nancy in probably grade 11 or so. This is from maybe grade 5 or 6. That's me. It's weird, my hair's so light brown there. Never use a stapler when you're working. And as you can see, I'm quite overweight. But around 1998, I started to lose weight. I would walk for like 45 minutes almost every day, and I'd cut back on the junk food, and I lost 40 pounds. This is from December 1982, me and Nancy. I don't think that dress would be in fashion now. But what do I know? Another nerdy one with me holding a Sparks album. I don't know why those don't focus. Focus. Me with my sister Janet and my middle brother Don in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I was born in North Bay, Ontario, and this is when we moved to Winnipeg. My dad was in the Air Forces. Very early shot of me and Nancy. Cleaning the floor. And this is the first house when we moved to Trenton, Ontario from Winnipeg in 1965. The first house we lived in, it's just like 2 blocks from where I live now, so I haven't gone far in my life. And this one, little different. My mom washing my feet in the kitchen sink. Once again, heavier there. My dad. This is me with my dad. My dad hardly ever took a serious picture. I don't know where I got my humor from, but He's being goofy a little bit with Nancy and me. That's, I believe, about 1982. Very nice wedding photo. I don't know if I believe in auras or not, you know, the different colors, but there's this, when my ex and I would go to these psychic shows sometimes, there would be this photographic thing of auras, and so they took my aura, so that's what it looked like. Now, I love dogs as much as cats. In fact, I love most animals. And one day I was going for a walk. I had just bought a brand new pair of shorts, and I was going for my daily walk. And this woman was coming down the sidewalk with her dog, a German Shepherd, which was on a leash. And I just passed her, and I didn't even realize what had happened at first. And I looked down, and the dog had bitten right through my shorts, so the shorts had to be thrown out, and I ended up going to the hospital. The dog luckily didn't have rabies or anything, but it was a pretty nasty bite. I apologize for showing my legs. And I've mentioned this before, I've always hated my upper body, like my stomach. I've always got a bit of a beer belly, but this is a halfway decent shot of me on the beach back in 1983, summer of 1983. The only picture of my dad and my mum on their honeymoon, just after they got married, with their, I believe, their housekeeper looking on in the back. Another very good picture of my dad. Taken in Rome, Italy, October 25th, 1944. Love and kisses, Jim, XXX. So that must have been sent to my mom. The very first car I ever owned was a 1984 Pontiac Sunbird, which I bought brand new. And then when that died out, my dad gave me his old car, which was in great condition, except, of course, the look of it. The look wasn't in great condition. It was a 1988, I really don't know much about cars, but was it a, maybe somebody can let me know what it is, Cutlass Supreme, Oldsmobile, yeah. It's all rusted out. And so once in a while I'd see one of my sons walking home, and I'd stop to pick them up, and they would kind of be embarrassed to get into the car. They'd sometimes ignore me. This is me, totally nude, in the bath, with my middle brother Don looking on. A nice picture again of Nancy and I. Here. A very nice picture of my sister Janet, who sadly passed away in the 90s. And almost done. I was given years ago pictures of one of my favorite bands, Sparks, and who are two brothers, Ron and Russell Mael. Just different shots of them in concert. Really nice photography. And them leaving after an interview at K-Rock radio station, California in 1982. And one more shot of Tiger. And this is, I'll just end this with 2 pictures of one of my cats, Tuffy. And I've mentioned this before, this one woman who says Nancy's come to her in dreams and all that. She has a cat named Larry, who she named ever before she watched my videos. And now she's been saying she has a cat that looks exactly like Tuffy. And there's more. I don't want to get into more of it right now. Maybe someday I'll make a video of it with her permission, but just to show her up close a picture of Tuffy, and one more of Tuffy. And so that's it. Thank you if you're still watching. There must be 1 or 2 of you watching it. And my next video will likely be on those newsletters that I used to do, and I'll read some of the stories. Thank you very much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Please thumbs up the video and leave a comment below. Bye-bye.